Hey guys, welcome back, and this video is going to be about class 12th as you may have read in the title. Talking about class 12th, I didn't make enough mistakes to talk about. So this video is going to be just a guide or a roadmap on what to do in class 12th, and stick around, there is an important part I'm going to speak about, that is secret skills. So let's begin. Talking about routine in class 12, this is very different from what I followed in class 11th. Basically, I would wake up at around 6 a.m., freshen up, study for 5 hours, though I would take breaks in between. I would have my brunch after that. I would study for 2 more hours. Then I would freshen up again and go to coaching or my classes. Then after coming back, I would have my dinner and I would basically revise what I had learned that day in my coaching. So this was basically my routine, what I followed in class 12th, and this is a very idealistic routine, and I would recommend anyone who is preparing or who is going to start preparing to follow this routine, because basically what happens in class 12th, and if you are taking a drop for droppers, is that you have very less time and a lot of things to cover. So you basically have to scavenge your time for self-study. So this is a very good routine if you want to save time. Now talking about management, it's a bit tough managing boards class 11th and class 12th, all these three in like 8 months of time. So yeah, it's a bit tough, but I would suggest you to focus on class 12th more than on the boards and class 11th, even if you have backlogs or have not studied for school tests or something like that. Now, as for boards is not that hard as you might think. 75 is easy. Like if we talk about PCM, if you just read NCRT and attempted the papers, it's very easy. And you have to read NCRT for JEE Mains, so it's not a big deal. Though English and your fifth subject, whatever it might be, I think best would be for taking PE or fine arts. I took PE, so studying both these subjects would be a bit tough for me. PE was not that tough because I found it interesting, but English would be challenging. So it would be better if you paid attention to English during your whole year. Like whenever you have school test, you try to score for English. Like you need to study for English rather than on physics, chemistry, maths, like English and PE. And talking about class 11th, even if you have backlogs, leave it. You will get time to cover these backlogs of class 11th, and class 12th will be the major portion in your JEE Mains and JEE Advanced. So yes, focusing on class 12th should be your priority. Now talking about secret skill, this is where things get interesting. Some people may call it cheating, but I don't think it is. Now I'll tell you what it is. What is this secret skill? Sometimes in some questions you may have to put value or vary some quantities in questions or in the options given below, so that you get your answer quickly and you save a lot of time. Though the answer you have found out or you think is correct will be doubtful because you have not used a very good method to solve it, not a proper method to solve it, right? So that's one problem you have with this skill. But after you use it or you're quite experienced, you have to have a feel or a gist of the topic, and you have to have a full understanding of the concept on which you're going to apply. Otherwise it will be very difficult to apply. So that's one part that is hard. Other than that, the people who call it cheating, I don't think it is cheating. Like it's just in one another method. And to learn this skill, you have to implement different methods to solve a single question. You have to try out, you have to sometimes even experiment. Like I'll give an example. There was one question in our JEE Advanced paper in which there was a ring, okay, and there was a spring attached somewhere here, and you have to pull it, and you have to find out the frequency of oscillations. I think it was frequency or the time period, I don't remember it correctly, but it was something like that. And the answer was G something, G by something plus K by M into 2 by 3 or something like that. So what I did in that question was I put G is equal to 0. Now you might think I'm crazy, but it is what it is. Like it just, I thought of this method because if you put G, then all the options will be different. And considering G is equal to 0, I got my answer very quickly and easily. I just have to use a bit of rotation, friction and torque equations. So I got my answer very quickly, though I was a bit doubtful, but I knew I had tried out these methods many times in the mocks I gave. So I was pretty confident that these things can be used. You can put G is equal to, it's just a variable, right? So this is just an example. You have to explore these things for yourself, and this isn't taught. So if you want, you can learn it. This can significantly improve your ranks. So that is all I have to say for this, and this is one of the most important thing, and this is not taught. So I was a bit surprised now when I'm thinking about it, but some people also learn it subconsciously, like they don't think about this as a secret skill, but they sometimes use it subconsciously. Sometimes you may have to visualize in your mind and approximate the answers. So yeah, that is all I have to say for this.